Hi everyone, it's Anne, and I want to say a little bit about this new thing I'm going to be trying called Kindness in the Real World. This is a weekly Zoom group live video call that I'm going to start hosting in October of 2019. And it's really the answer to a question that I've kind of been sitting with for the past several months. I used to put out a weekly newsletter and blog, and I used to do more regular outreach to all of you. And I really stopped that because I was finding myself a little bit overwhelmed and confused about how do I really want to be spending my time and prioritizing things. But one of the things that I've found over these past several months is that I really miss having regular communication. I really like doing videos, and I've shared some sort of sporadically here and there in different places, but there's also something just really magical about being able to share and talk, but also to be engaging people in real time. And I know that from being part of other groups where Zoom type calls are part of the equation, really being on both sides of that. So that's one place where it's come from. It's like, I miss you. Like, I miss engaging. And then the other piece is what I'm noticing. Like I did for a while work, I was trying to focus on businesses and trying to sell businesses on the concept of, it's important to send cards and do like little kindnesses with your people. That's how you maintain connection and stuff like that. I've since sort of backtracked and decided I don't really want to be focused on business per se, but one of the sticking points for businesses, I think, is the same as a sticking point for a lot of people, which is, it sounds great in theory, but I'm not in the habit of doing that. And so it ends up being like this gap between like what I aspire to be or what I know is possible and what I actually feel like I have the capacity to do or am in the habit of doing on a regular basis. And so I've been thinking, what could I do to help people in business or otherwise? Like, if you have a desire to be doing more small acts of outreach and connection with people, like, what would help you do that actually? And different people have said like an accountability group, or like I could offer to do it for people. Neither of those feels quite right, but I do think that a big part of it is just keeping the conversation in the forefront of people's minds. If you're thinking regularly every week about kind of how powerful it is to do some small act of kindness, how good it feels to you, what an impact it can make, just being reminded of that, I think, on a regular basis is going to make it more likely that when those opportunities arise, you'll sort of lean in and say yes and do them, as opposed to miss them altogether because your head's in some other place. So what I'm envisioning for these weekly video calls, one, like if video scares you and you're like, I don't want to show my face to anybody, or I'm not in a place where I can, that's fine. So Zoom has this capacity to, you can mute yourself, you can like unvideo yourself and really just be there as a participant, but nobody can see you or hear you, and you're really just kind of sitting in and lurking, and that's fine. I like it when people are seen and heard because I think that makes more of a community feel, but please don't feel pressure to do that. That's really not a requirement. But what I'm envisioning is an hour long, so from 12 to 1 on Fridays. And I think I'll start with some sort of talk. So I'll take some kind of question or some sort of theme and share something that's kind of alive for me around that, or something that I've been pondering, or some experience that I had, or just something I've noticed. And these could be questions generated from some of you or just from my life or anything. Anyway, so it'll be content. Like I'll come on and I'll just like start talking about stuff, and then I imagine halfway-ish through, I'll invite anybody who wants to share something to share. So whether that's something based on what I had just said, or something that's come up in your own life, something you want to celebrate, something that you're kind of stuck with around a particular act of kindness, or feelings around that, or logistical challenges around that, just bring whatever's there for you, and we'll talk about it. And my hope, again, this isn't like an accountability group and you come in every week and you report what you did and you say what you're going to do in the coming week. Like, it's not really that. You can use it that way for yourself if that's helpful to you. But I think more than anything, I'm really just trying to invite that possibility more into people's lives, and to let them do with that what they would like to, in a way that feels good and right and natural, and kind of aligned with what their bigger picture goals are for themselves and the people around them. So I'm going to try it out. I've blocked off every Friday at noon in my calendar starting in October, indefinitely into the future. We'll see. Obviously, I'll change things if it doesn't feel right, and if it feels good, that's great. I'm not planning to charge for this. I'm really planning, I feel like just coming on and giving me an hour of your time, like, that's payment, really, because these are conversations that I care about. These are things that I want people to be thinking about, and to the extent that they are, like, my life is better. So I consider your presence your payment, and I hope that the conversations maybe will ignite interest in some of the other stuff that I do, but that's not a requirement in any way. It really is, I see it as like a complement to the other things I'm doing with my connection cards and the Signs of Kindness project and consulting and stuff like that, and workshops and all of that. So it'll be a little bit of a figure it out as we go kind of thing, but if that's interesting, like if you're one of those people who says, yeah, I like every time I put myself in a place of care and kindness, and where I know that my happiness matters, my well-being matters, and the people, and I want to contribute to that for others. Like, if that feels like a space you like to be in, and you want a little bit more of that in your life, and you can join on Fridays at noon, come and check it out and see if this helps that for you. Of course, you can always watch it on replay too. That's fine. I'll post it somewhere. I think details will be forthcoming. Hopefully, wherever you're watching this video, I'll have details surrounding it, saying the logistics of where do you find it and how do you sign up and stuff like that. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, and you'll be along for the journey. And as with so much of what I do, your input matters, and I listen to it, and really want to come up with something that is valuable to everybody who participates. So thank you for getting all the way through this, and if you're like, yes, I want to be in, sign up, put it on your calendar, and I'll see you there. Bye.